Good morning, first graders. Welcome to the reading room. Happy Thursday. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to share our screen right away so we can get into and have some pie. Author's purpose pie, that is. So do you remember on Tuesday, we were talking about author's purpose, right? And what is author's purpose? Yeah, it's the why. Why did the author write the story? What's the reason behind it? What did they want us to get out of it, right? And we say it's as easy as pie to remember because PIE, the P stands for persuasion. Remember, we talked about that on Tuesday. I is for inform, and E is for entertain. Now, the first piece of the pie, remember we talked about, was the P for persuasion. The author is trying to get the reader to do or believe something. Or, like in our story on Tuesday about if you're thinking about bringing an alligator to school, don't, right? The author was trying to convince you not to do something. If for some crazy reason you thought it was a good idea to bring in a live alligator to school, they wanted you to know it wasn't, right? So they wanted you to believe that it was not a good idea. So that was persuasion. I also talked to you about the example of the pigeon books, right? Like don't let the pigeon drive the bus, or if the pigeon wanted a puppy, that pigeon was trying to persuade us, right? The author was trying to show you that the pigeon's going to persuade you to do something, and then you have to stand your ground and say, no, 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 we know better than the pigeon. So P for persuasion, it's a long word, right? You persuade someone, you convince someone, you try to get them to change their mind or believe in something or try something. Now, the second piece of our pie, are you ready? Can you have a second helping of pie? Is the I for inform. Inform is kind of just teaching someone. So the author is giving information or facts. The author wants you to learn something, whether it be new or maybe you didn't know everything about that subject. They want to tell you, teach you something. Now, sometimes those books are going to be nonfiction, where we haven't gotten into that yet, but everything in the book is true. Everything about it. They usually have real pictures and all this little details for it. And the author wrote that book to really just teach you. The book we're going to read today is called I Am Not a Fish. And it's still fiction. There's still, the characters are talking and they're jellyfish and they're starfish and they're fish, right? But I'm going to show you that the author, Peter Raimundo, wants to inform you. He wants, his purpose of writing this story is to teach you something. And I'm guessing by the cover, it's to teach us about jellyfish. Okay. Now, I don't know what you know about jellyfish, but after the story, you're going to know a little bit more because the author's going to inform us just a bit more about jellyfish. He does do it in a fun way, so it's still also entertaining, but we'll talk about entertaining on Friday or tomorrow. So, all right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and now I'm going to read the story. So I'm not a fish. And then after I read the story, I'll go back to sharing my screen and we'll talk about what we learned about jellyfish. Okay. And maybe we had some fun with it too. So the author's purpose for this is to inform us, to teach us something maybe we didn't know, by Peter Raimundo. And look at the back here. Here's the jellyfish going, do they ever call you a fish? What's that? It's a plastic bag, right? Kind of does look like him. He's like, hey, you called a fish? Because I'm called a fish. But the title is I'm Not a Fish. All right. Okay. Okay. Oh, he's heading to an underwater support group. Okay. Hello there. My name is Edgar, and I'm a jellyfish. Hello, Edgar. And what are all those? Yeah, they're starfish. They're like, hello, Edgar. Jellyfish aren't actually fish at all. It's kind of confusing. Hey, that's something that they just taught us. If you think about it, jellyfish aren't fish. Whoa. Boy, do we understand that. Starfish aren't fish either. We have arms, for crying out loud. And our skeletons are on the outside. Hey, did you know that about starfish? Their skeletons are on the outside. So, they aren't fish either, but they're called fish. Whoa. Who came up with these silly names anyway? Well, I think it all started when those pesky humans dove in and started labeling everything. Okay, they're even that a cod, kelp, an anemone, a shark, A giant squid, Bubbles. There's the human, right? Naming things. The thing is, most creatures end up with fancy names all on their own. A narwhal, a nautilus, a dolphin, and other names that make total sense. That means like it makes sense, right? Like absolutely sense. A hammerhead shark looks like a hammer. Yellow tangs, blue tangs, a swordfish because it looks like it has a sword. But with jellyfish, it's like they took two unrelated words and just stuck them together. Now, I want to tell you, Miss Summers was talking about compound words, and with our sight word into, right? And she had the video about compound words. Swordfish, compound word put together. One's a sword, one's a fish, put it together, you get a swordfish. Jellyfish, now here they're going to show you, okay? Two different words put together to make one word still doesn't really make sense. I understand the whole jelly part. Sometimes I can barely tell the difference myself. Grape jelly, strawberry jelly, sea jelly. But jellyfish? This I never understood. I look more like a plastic bag than a fish. Jelly plastic bag? That'd be kind of weird. But anyway. I mean, this is a fish. It has fins and gills and scales. Ouch. You're hurting me. I don't have fins, gills, or scales. Hey, the author's informing us. Alert, alert. Did you know that about jellyfish? They didn't have fins or gills or scales. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but you were just informed. Because I'm not a fish! And everyone always says, Edgar, you're overthinking things. But jellyfish don't even have brains, so I'm not thinking anything at all. You heard that right. Did you know that? Inform alert. Jellyfish don't have brains. I think I heard that, but yeah, that's true. They don't have brains. What? Believe me, I've tried to be like the other fish. I've joked around with the clownfish. Hey guys, why did the turtle cross the ocean? To get to the other tide. They don't seem pleased, the clownfish. But I don't have a funny bone in my body. In fact, jellyfish don't have any bones at all. Another inform alert, they don't have any bones. Fish have some bones. They have no bones, jellyfish. They're all jelly. I've hung out with the angelfish, but they don't even know what a sand angel is. There is a fish called an angelfish. And look, he's trying to make a sand angel like a snow angel. And they're like, what? And good luck playing tags when your hands are stinging tentacles. Hey there, Mr. Pufferfish. Tag, you're it. Poof. Yikes, that didn't go well. This one time, I even got packed in with sardines. Sardines are like little fish. But right when I was finally fitting in, I was tossed aside. Hey, that's not a fish. Throw it back. Oh, come on. Splash. Finally got to the point where I just had to stop and float for a while. You guys go ahead. I'll catch up later. So he's trying to swim with the fish, but it's hard to swim with the fish when you don't have the fins to do it, right? And that's when I started feeling like myself again. After all, floating is what I do best. There's all the jellyfish when they kind of bob, right? Kind of float around. You know, just talking to this group has helped me realize something. People can call me whatever they want. Squishy thing, gelatinous blob, stingy fish, sea jelly, peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich. Does anyone call him that? I don't think so. No matter what I'm called, I am still me. And that's the best thing you could ever be. Thanks. You guys, I feel better already. Because the starfish get it too. They're like, we don't have fins either, but we're called fish. Sometimes it's good to talk to people who get you and understand. I tell you, this group knows how to make someone feel like a star. Yeah, we're just so happy you came, Edgar. You've brightened our day too. Excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt. My name is Charlie and I'm a seahorse. Does that look like a horse to you? Hello, Charlie. And maybe the seahorse can talk it out too with them to make him feel better. Oh, I actually have that bracelet. It's called For Ocean. Anyway, so what do you think? It definitely was entertaining, but we learned something. We got informed by the author. So let's talk about what we learned. Okay, so jellyfish. What did the author teach? What did the author teach us, right? Oh, I put a little jellyfish right there. They are not a fish. They're technically not a fish. They're not in the fish group, okay? Jellyfish are not fish. Even though it literally says fish in their name, they are not a fish. That is what you learned today from that author, from that book. Right. They have no fins, no gills, or scales. None of that. And that's what makes a fish a fish. They got gills and fins and scales and they can swim around. Jellyfish don't have that. Jellyfish are like a blob, right? Moving around. They got these tentacles and stuff, but they do not have fins, gills, and scales. What else did you know about them? Yeah, they don't have brains. Yeah, there's no brains going on there, right? And which is fascinating because how are they moving? But they don't have brains. Fish have brains. Fish brain might be small, but it's there. Jellyfish do not have brains. Is there anything else that we learned? Oh, there's SpongeBob Dance with the Fish. No bones. They don't have any bones. Did you know that about jellyfish? They are like boneless, right? Fish still have bones. Other animals and other fish creatures have bones, not the jellyfish. So, yes, that book was fun, but we were informed. We learned something. Okay, we weren't really persuaded to go do something. We were learning. Jellyfish are not fish. They have no fins, gills, or scales. They don't have brains and they don't have bones, right? So they're really not like fish at all, but they're called jellyfish. They would be better named jelly plastic bags. That's too much, right? What would you name the jellyfish instead of jellyfish? Swimming blob. Did someone say that? I bet you can come up with some good names, right? But so that is, well, a book about jellyfish, but one way that the author's purpose was to inform. Okay, so today, when you're reading a book, either down on the bottom or on Raz-Kids or a book at home, try to talk about that author's purpose again. Now, you might not have a book that's going to inform you, and that's okay. All right, that's totally okay. It's just I'm giving you ideas that there's books out there that are to teach you something, to inform you. Okay, so maybe you'll find one, maybe you won't, and you'll just find one that's persuading you or just for fun. Tomorrow we'll do a entertainment, our last slice of the pie, and I love entertainment books, but I also like books that can teach you something and be entertaining. So an I and an E piece of the pie. All right, so make sure you check out I want to persuade you to check out all the other teachers' classrooms and everything they have to teach you for the lessons and videos and do all your work. Oh, it's going to make you such a better first grader. Did I persuade you? Yeah, all right, and have a great day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.